Hi everyone. Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Mari. I'm one of the librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine, and I'm here to read another picture book biography for Black History Month. Today we're reading Marvelous Cornelius, which is about Cornelius Washington, who was a man who was pretty famous in his home city of New Orleans right around the time that Hurricane Katrina hit the city. This book is written by Phil Bildner and illustrated by John Parra, and it is published by Chronicle Books. Marvelous Cornelius. Even if it's called your lot to be a street sweeper, go out and sweep streets like Michelangelo painted pictures. Sweep streets like Handel and Beethoven composed music. Sweep streets like Shakespeare wrote poetry. Sweep streets so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will have to pause and say, "Here lived a great street sweeper who swept his job well." It's a quote by Martin Luther King Jr. In the quarter there worked a man known in New Orleans as Marvelous Cornelius. "Mornin'," he saluted the silver-haired man with the Times beacon under his arm. "Greetings," he waved to the couple with the baby on the balcony. "Ma'am," he nodded to the woman shaking rugs out her front window. And when his truck rounded the corner, "My young'uns," he called to the kids crowded in the corner. "Marvelous Cornelius," they cheered. "Marvelous Cornelius." At each home, Cornelius sashayed to the curb and shimmied to the hopper. Unloading the garbage, not a single praline wrapper ever stayed on the street. Those spotless streets, whew, how they sparkled. "Woo, woo, 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 woo," he called to his driver when it was time to stop. "Rat-a-tat-tat, rat-a-tat-tat," he strummed to the side when it was time to move. "Hooty-hoo, hooty-hoo," his favorite call of all. "Showtime!" Cornelius front flipped to the curb and flung the bag over his head, behind his back, between his legs, and into the truck. He lined up bags along the curb and then launched them. Bag after bag after bag after bag, they landed in a perfect pyramid inside the hopper's mouth. Bang! He clapped the covers like cymbals and twirled the tins like tops, whizzing and spinning back and forth across the street. And just like those twisting tops, Cornelius danced, too, tangoing up Toulouse, samboing down St. Peter's, rumbling up Royal, sashaying down Chartres. Everyone danced along. The old ladies whistled and whirled, the old men hooted and hollered, the barbers, speed twirlers, and beignet bakers bounded behind the one-man parade. But then one day, the storm came, and the great city filled with water. People and pets, parks and playgrounds washed away. Schools and shops, streets and streetcars washed away. And for far too long, water, water everywhere. A gumbo of mush and mud. When those waters finally fell away, Cornelius looked out at the mountains of ruins, some as high as the steeple atop the St. Louis Cathedral. "It will take thousands of me to clean this," he wept. "Millions." Cornelius rose. He dried his eyes, for his spirit and will were waterproof. And just like he did every morning, he emptied the garbage into his hopper, and the kids who crowded the corner pitched in too. So did the silver-haired man, and the couple from up on the balcony, and the woman with the rugs, and the old lady and the old men, and the barbers and the bead twirlers, and the beignet bakers. Others too, from Brooklyn and Boise, Baltimore and Bakersfield, Syracuse and Seattle, Santa Fe and San Antonio. They streamed to the Crescent City, thousands, millions, a flood of humanity. "Hooty-hoo," Marvelous Cornelius cheered. "Hooty-hoo!" and the great city rose again. Marvelous Cornelius, he passed on, but as for his spirit, that's part of New Orleans. New Orleans forever after. There's an author's note, a little bit more about Cornelius Washington, and a website such where you can go to find out more about him at chroniclebooks.com/Cornelius Washington. There's also a pronunciation guide for some of the words in this book. And that's the end of Marvelous Cornelius, Hurricane Katrina and the Spirit of New Orleans. I hope you enjoyed reading this book along with me and learning a little bit more about what might seem like an ordinary man, but what he helped do for New Orleans was extraordinary. I think that everyone, that's the point of this book, is that everyone can be extraordinary in their own way. My name is Sarah Mari. I'm one of the librarians at Portland Public Library in Portland, Maine. Thank you for listening today, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.